can be able to work out the equation of a perpendicular bisector, and this is the question that will this is a video that will enable you know exactly how you are supposed to. Here we're told that point A and B are 4, 3 and 12, -7, and then we are supposed to find the equation of a line L. The equation of a line L, which is a perpendicular bisector of the line joining A and B. So in order to work out this question, you are going to start by identifying that this line, which is a perpendicular bisector, a perpendicular bisector is a line that subdivides this line into two halves, so meaning that this line is going to pass at the point where we have the midpoint. This midpoint M is going to be a point where this line L is going to pass, and this is going to be 90 degrees because this line is perpendicular to this line. So meaning that in order to find this equation, the first thing that we need to do here is to work out the midpoint M. And remember the formula for midpoint, and say that midpoint M is equals to x1 plus x2 over 2 y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So we are going to identify these coordinates that we have at this point x1. So we can say this is our x1, y1, and this is our x2, y2 in that case, right? So that we can be able to use them in order to find the coordinates of the midpoint. And this is going to be x1, which is 4, plus x2, which is 12, divided by 2, comma, y1, which is 3, plus y2, which is -7, divided by 2. So if we work out this, we're going to realize that our coordinates of midpoint are going to be, this is 16 divided by 2, which is going to turn to 8, and this is -4 divided by 2, which is going to be -2. So meaning that the coordinate of this point where this line is going to pass here is 8, -2 in that case. Now, once you have the coordinate, the next step when you're given this kind of question is to work out the gradient of the line AB. Work out the gradient of this line. And that is going to enable us work out the gradient of the other one. So we find gradient of AB. Remember, gradient is given by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 in that case. So you need to realize we had identified this to be our y2, so we are going to say -7 minus y1, which is 3, and x2, which is actually +12, minus our x1, which is 4. So if we work out this, we're going to get -10 over 8 in that case. And of course, if we are going to simplify this, if we simplify what we have here, we're going to say our gradient is going to be -5 over 4. That is the gradient, our gradient. And this simplifies to -5 over 4 as the gradient of this line A to B. But remember, if we say this is the gradient of this one is M1 and the gradient of this other line is M2, because they are perpendicular, we can now say that M1 times M2 is, we can say M1 times M2 equals to -1. So we are going to use this relation so that we can be able to find the gradient of the line that we are finding, yeah, with the equation. So this is going to be -5 over 4 times M2 is going to give us -1. So our M2 is going to be -1 times 4 over 5 negative. So basically, we're going to end up having 4 over 5 as the gradient of this line. So we can say gradient of this line is 4 over 5. Right? So remember, the equation of a straight line is usually equal to y equals to mx plus c. Equation of a straight line is y equals to mx plus c. And in this case, we can be able to use the gradient that we have obtained, and one of the point that was given here, we can use this point or we can use this. So you can, in order to find the value of c. So this is just helping us to find the value of c. Now, to find c, use m equals to 4 over 5, and the point we're going to use is 4, 3. You can use any of this. So I've decided to use 4, 3, and I'm going to substitute these two into the equation that we have here, so that we are going to say 3 is equal to, because here our x is 4 and our y is 3, so I'll say y is 3 equals to the gradient 4 over 5 times x, and our x in this case is actually 4, and then plus c. So which will imply that is going to be 3 is equivalent to 16 over 5 plus c. This means that our c is going to be 3 minus 16 over 5 in that case, which will imply that our c is equivalent to, yeah, so if we work out this, we are having 3 minus 16 over 5. Yeah, so 16 over 5 here, we're getting 1 over 5, negative 1 over 5 in this. So the y-intercept of this line is negative 1 over 5. So from here we can be able to write the equation of this straight line, because equation of a straight line is equals to y equals to mx plus c. Our c is this value that we have obtained here, and our m is the value that we had obtained here. So we can be able to say now the equation of this line is going to be y equals to m. M is 4 over 5x minus 1 over 5 in that case. So which means that our equation is going to be is equal to here. And that's what you're supposed to do in order to earn all the marks when it comes to finding the equation of the perpendicular, when finding the equation of a perpendicular bisector. First thing to do is to find the midpoint of the 2 points, and the midpoint we got here using this particular formula. Second step is to find the gradient of line AB using this formula, y equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You get it? And once you have that, you use this relation to find the equation at the gradient, to find the gradient of this line L, because the two lines are perpendicular. So the product of their gradient is -1. Once you do that, you need to find the value of c using this equation, and once you get that, you're done. As simple as that. If you are new to ProfLearn YouTube channel, consider subscribing so that anytime we are going to upload further tutorials, you'll be notified. See you in the next video.